everyone, this is Seth with The Landing Page Dude, and today I'm going to be making a video exploring the top 10 factors that are contributing to lower conversion rates on your Shopify store. I've collected a bunch of different Shopify sites that I've sourced from online forums. These were sites where owners were looking for advice for how to boost sales. Additionally, I've also taken a look at more successful brands like Nelk's website. And I'm also going to suggest how even they could elevate their conversion rates just by making some small adjustments. I know they sell a lot in the millions and they do extremely well, but why not do better just by taking some small, simple steps that could probably be implemented in less than a week? So let's begin the video. Now, the first point I'm going to go over is the mobile experience. The mobile experience is incredibly important when it comes to Shopify. Over 80% of all traffic on Shopify by the end of 2023 will come from mobile. It's important that when you're building in Shopify, this is the viewport that you focus on. Failing to optimize your store for mobile users is obviously going to lead to a significant drop in conversion rates. More and more customers, they're shopping on their mobile devices, they expect premium experiences, and they want things frictionless. In this example, I'm looking at a brand called Slick Shirts. The owner was in a Shopify forum complaining about low conversion rates, and it's fairly obvious to see why. Now, while he does have some of the things right, for example, he has the site-wide announcement bar, he has a super optimized mobile menu, it's what's underneath that where we failed to hit. His call to action, welcome, text you could barely read, a really underwhelming hero image with a very boring button, and then straight into sales. So this mobile experience, through my lens as a shopper, would be very poor. I'm not excited about anything. I'm not educated. I don't know about the brand. I don't know their colors. I don't know what they exude. I don't feel their ethos and their messaging. This is just a cookie cutter Shopify site on a basic template. And if you do visit this on mobile, you're probably bouncing off or you're not purchasing, unless this is, shared by a popular influencer or something. So the owner was in the group complaining about low conversion rates, and right off the bat, when you visit the mobile, you can tell it's just not there. Now, I'm going to show you another hero, and this is one of the biggest, another mobile page. This is one of the biggest brands on Shopify, and just to show you how different it is. But before I do that, I want you just to remember what this looks like. So just keep in mind, so you have something to compare. Very bland, very boring. Here's Fashion Nova. I know a lot of you know who Fashion Nova is, but there's a reason why they sell so much, because their mobile experience is exactly what online shoppers want. Right from the top, you could switch collections. You have a beautiful visual with a site-wide offer, a countdown timer, a huge hero image, with a nice call to action. Even the categories are scrollable. What they're doing is they're catering to this new mobile behavior we're seeing. Because of all these different platforms and like TikTok and Instagram and Reddit, a lot of people don't have the attention span that they used to. So when mobile users land on a page, they're not really focusing on anything for too long. The average time someone will spend on your Shopify homepage is 8 to 10 seconds. So keep that in mind. That's how quick you have to make an impression. As we scroll down, you could just see this is crafted for mobile. It looks like an editorial, like a magazine. It's beautiful, it's informative, and anything and everything you want is accessible. You could shop by category, you could shop by bestsellers, you could shop by season, by shorts, by shirts. And when I do scroll back up to the top, you see how it has that sticky header here? Where over here, then I can look and say, you know what, I want dresses. It's a beautiful homepage. This is what you want to achieve. If you are a Shopify store, this is what you're looking for. Remember, when you land on this page, you're going to want what you want quickly. You know what you want. Maybe you've seen an ad. Maybe you've searched through Google. Let's just say you want swimwear. When you land on this page, you're going to see right on the hero, swimwear. Okay, maybe you don't see it here, swim. It's tailored to crafting the most frictionless mobile experience to get you to the checkout as quickly as possible. So that's the number one reason, is your store is not mobile optimized. It doesn't matter if you get a Shopify template that's created by a credible author. The mobile experience needs to be elevated. You need to have a custom homepage nowadays, or you have to be able to take a template and customize it to a way that you are at the same par as these brands that many consumers know about. Imagine visiting Fashion Nova and then coming over to this site. It's like I'm walking into a funeral home, and I say that very nicely. The second thing is low quality content. Now, a lot of you don't know who Factory Shoe is, but they're one of the largest online shoe retailers in in Canada. They also have physical stores. So they're massive. They're a massive, massive brand. And I found their website online through an ad. And this is the content that they have. So you could see if you're shopping for Crocs, personally for me, this homepage I would not, this product page I would not trust, just on the lack of content itself. And that's why it's important as a Shopify seller. You need to have high quality content. That doesn't just mean the imaging, that means also the copywriting, the product descriptions, any grammatical errors, and also insufficient information. I don't really know what I'm looking at here. It's very difficult to understand. I come to a product page, I see the Crocs logo, but that's it. There are no reviews, there's no shipping information, there's no FAQ, there's no images, and something I will be talking on later is things are not prioritized. The visual hierarchy here is not on point. That add to cart button, while having a green color, needs to be set on its own. So poor quality content is going to hurt you. And you saw with Fashion Nova, by having high quality content, it's going to help with your conversion rates. And again, I'm not only talking about the visuals. Look at the way that they've laid out everything. The $5 hot deals, it's the copywriting, it's the coloring, it's the information, it's the way things are structured. Another thing we will be looking at is basic and incomplete product pages. So this is number 3. For a lot of you that sell on Shopify, I know that you're using a template and it's very difficult, but I just want to show you the difference and why it's important to invest into the pages where most of your traffic is going to land on. So this is the same brand, Slick Shirts, and if you do check out their product page, you're going to notice it's super, super, super bland. You have a black and white color scheme, and everything is just like you would find on, like if you had just purchased the template and done nothing to it. Having high quality images, essential information, videos, detailed specifications, or if that's how you sell on the product page. By leaving customers unanswered with questions is going to lead to a lower conversion rate. There's no social proof. It's very short. There's no reviews. There's no before and after pricing. It doesn't tell you when the product arrives. The list goes on and on and on. And this is what I see. 9 out of 10 brands that we work with, or 9 out of 10 brands I go on to these forums and I search for, all of the product pages are like this. Okay, maybe they might have better copywriting, but essentially a lot of people that are selling on Shopify aren't covering their bases. Not having a before and after pricing, that is something that is fundamental and native to Shopify. You literally just have to put a compare price. Not having a proper description or copywriting, there's ChatGPT. There's no reason why you can't do that. Not having an FAQ section, a review section, an about us section, all of these reasons are going to hurt you. As we head over to Bulletproof, one of the most successful online shopping brands in the world. Look at their product page. They're very similar to this last one in only one way, is this color scheme they have is very simple, which I love. But obviously, as you know, Bulletproof, as successful as they are, they're doing it right. Look at when you land on here. Look how beautiful the content is. It's right in your face. Everything is prioritized. You know what you're getting. You have the social proof. You have the big H1 title. You have the description. You have these cool visual interactive selectors. And then underneath, you have the benefits and the features. They create an opportunity to increase your cart by offering other products. So that's how you increase your AOV. They go into educating the customer. What is collagen? They go more into the benefits. More social proof, transparency, more features and benefits, editorial blog content, frequently asked questions, and reviews. If you are watching this video and you want to know how to create the perfect product page, and this is universal. This is for if you're selling shoes, if you're selling supplements or cars, whatever it is. These are the fundamentals that you need to have. So that's a huge reason why your conversion rates are low, is that product page doesn't have enough love. That's where your customers are landing on. And if they have unanswered questions or they don't see the important things, they're not going to purchase from you. Another reason, number 4, is poor website navigation. So I'm referring to a confusing or cluttered site layout that makes it difficult for customers to find what they're looking for. And what this does, it leads to frustration and of a lot of abandoned carts and of course lower conversion rates. It's kind of like when I go to a restaurant with my wife and I open up a menu and it has 300 different dishes and all these different colors or different graphics, and you just become overwhelmed, and then I get a bit frustrated. And that's why I appreciate simpler menus that have breathing space and you can focus on what you're looking at. And that's exactly the same experience that customers are expecting. When they come onto the website, especially on mobile, they want to be brought to their end destination as quickly as possible without any confusing navigation. And over here, as you can see with Factory Shoe, it's the same thing. There's so much going on. You have your horizontal navigation, and then on the left here, they thought it'd be a good idea to have your vertical navigation. And while this may have worked in like the early 2000s, things have changed. You need to be structured in a way that's simple, but also very informative. Website navigation is going to get your customer from the home page or the product page to the checkout as quickly as possible. It needs to be frictionless. It needs to be super, super frictionless. And that's why I always come back here to Fashion Nova. It's because when you land on here, there's no way you're not going to be able to get to that destination within one click. Think about it. If I land on Factory Shoe and I'm looking for a very specific shoe, right? Let's just say, I'm not sure, maybe it's a shoe for like restaurants or something. I'm going to have to search, maybe go on work boots. See, it has the men's 8-inch, it's men's casual. It's very confusing. I just want to find work boots for men and then maybe go into the meta details inside. First thing they have here is men's 8-inch, men's 6-inch. This does not make sense to me. I just want to be able to see the work boots for men. And when I go on men, It's not there. And that's what I mean about having a clean navigation that's simple. Whereas if I was on Fashion Nova and I wanted lingerie, let's just say, I'm a female and I want lingerie. Look, I have here at the top, I have here at the bottom, and one click brings me to the collection. And then from here, I have this awesome filter system where I can say, you know what, I don't want black, maybe I want purple. And that's what we mean about the navigation, is you have to create a frictionless customer experience that gets them to the checkout as quickly as possible. And that's a big reason why a lot of these brands before that were using apps like ClickFunnels and downsells and upsells and cross-sells, you don't see that too much anymore because customers don't want to go through 5 to 6 clicks to get to the end destination. They want to land and be able to click where they want as quickly as possible to get the information that they're seeking. So that's point number 4. For point number 5, and it's something that just recently we also had a client ask about load times. Now, it doesn't matter. Let me rephrase that. There are the type of clients that obsess over load times and their page speed scores, and I totally understand it. If you're doing SEO or if you're spending a lot of money on a Shopify theme, you're going to want your site to load as quickly as possible. And rightfully so, it should. But a lot of customers don't understand that, especially bigger brands, is that a lot of the load time issues that you face on Shopify are directly related to Shopify itself. That's through the JavaScript and the third-party apps. And just to give you an example here, let's go to one of the biggest stores on Shopify. So let's go to Kylie Cosmetics. Let's put that into GT metrics. And the reason why I bring up this point is because it is important to have a fast load time. But if you're looking at GT metrics and using that as the only reason to, oh my gosh, my site is slow, you're so far off the marker. And it's the same with any tool, Page Insights and the page speed dev. Do not just look at those metrics and alone think, oh my God, my site sucks, it's so slow. And I don't blame customers or people for doing this. Sometimes it's a lack of know about, but I'm going to show you why. So here's Kylie Cosmetics, one of the biggest brands on Shopify. And if you go actually to the top 10 Shopify stores and you put all of their sites through GT metrics or PageSpeed Dev, you're going to be surprised. They're going to get F scores and poor scores. And the reason why that is 2 things. Someone like Kylie Cosmetics obviously is one of the biggest brands. They have, like the branding and the trust factor. But if you look at the technical side as why they have such a horrible score, it's because a lot of the things they don't have control over. It's third-party JavaScript and apps that they're using through the Shopify marketplace. Now look at this. Here you have an F score, okay? It says it takes 15 seconds for the speed visualization tool to fully load. But if I go to Kylie Cosmetics, let's go to the website. It doesn't take, it's fast, lightning fast. And that's the important thing. This point number 5 is you have to know what the equilibrium is when it comes to load time. I think it's important to prioritize your content first. Beautiful content over load time. Now, if you reverse that, if your site does take a long time to load and it's obvious, then you need to prioritize that over the content. But just by going like this, saying, oh my gosh, the site loads so slow, I like, look at this score. Yes, there are things that can be improved technically, but this report does not translate to my experience. And keep in mind, a lot of these tools are aggregating, like the scores they give you are also based on aggregating versus other websites and server locations. So that's point number 4 is your load time in the content needs to be at an equilibrium. With Kylie Cosmetics, yes, she's a brand and everyone knows it, but still, F score on GT metrics, the site has no problem. But what they've done is they've put their content first, and they're not worried about all these, specific little tools. They're important to use, but at the end, don't lose don't lose sleep over it. It could always be improved. And like I said, a lot of the times, the reasons why the score is so poor is the apps that you're using on Shopify. Now, let's talk about point number 6, which is ineffective call to actions. Okay? So, if we go back to Slick Shirts, this is an ineffective call to action. The button is poorly placed, it's unclear, and the copywriting sucks. Welcome. Stay stylish and comfortable with Slick Shirts. This is an ineffective call to action. This is not copywriting, this is just the bare minimum. And you'll see it for a lot of different, even bigger brands. Here, there is not even a button in sight. There's not a button in sight. On mobile, you can barely even read the hero, but they've decided to add the buttons. But on desktop, there's not even a button in sight. This is what you would be called an ineffective call to action. Everything is unclear, and from the other example, it's poorly placed. The call to action is poorly placed. Here's another example of a poorly placed and unclear call to action. Feel invincible to heat. This is someone's homepage, by the way. They don't care about anything else. They just want to sell you the product. They don't want to bring value. They don't want to be informative. They just want to put 4 words above the fold and a buy now button, which then takes you to the exact same product page. So these are ineffective call to actions. And go to Fashion Nova. Learn from the best. Shop new. It's super simple. Spring collection, shop swim. Dresses, shop dresses. It can't be any more dummied down. By not having clear call to actions, it's going to lead to low conversion rates. Another big reason is lack of trust signals, and that's point number 7. So a lot of brands fail to display security badges, customer reviews, and other trust factors, and this can literally make or break your sale with a customer. A lot of customers will question your store's legitimacy. Maybe if you're factory shoe, you'll do a bit better. But if I've never heard of you, if I just clicked on your ad and I came across this site, I would be very suspicious. It's the design, it's the development, and it's the lack of trust signals. I don't see any reviews. I don't see any trust badges, anything that's going to assure me that if I make a purchase, everything is okay. Customers are very wary. This explosion of drop shippers and Shopify sellers, what they've done is they've created a smarter customer. And most customers that will come across a site like this will probably just go on to Amazon, or they'll copy this URL here. This Under Armour charged headline. They'll go put it in Google and find it on the site. It's important to implement trust factors. On both Fashion Nova and Bulletproof Coffee, you see it everywhere. Look at this. They're using user-generated content as their thumbnail. Okay, so the customers have purchased it. She looks great in it. This is already built credibility. Here, you see how many people have left a review. Okay, this builds credibility. Free shipping on $125 plus. This builds credibility. When I'm going to get it by May 17th, it builds credibility. As you go down, you see the social proof. See it on Instagram. It builds more trust. All the reviews. And what it does is it makes you feel more confident in the brand. It looks more professional and it makes you want to purchase. And that's why it's important that when you're designing your product pages, that you're including all of these trust factors. And it doesn't matter if you're selling swimwear or coffee, the fundamentals are there. It's the reviews, it's the trust badges, it's knowing when you're going to get your order, it's knowing about the free shipping, the transparency, look inside of our ingredients, and of course the reviews, the same thing as you see on Fashion Nova. The next thing we're going to talk about is the complicated checkout process. Now, this is different for Shopify Plus and Shopify brands, and it's hard to give you an example because there are a lot of templates that use a very basic style, but I did want to show you how Fashion Nova does it, and they are on Shopify Plus. One second. Here they have the beautiful sliding cart, which is something every store can do. It's super simple. You can add an app, and only in a couple clicks you can implement this. Then in the cart page, you can add a discount code. That's scarcity. Apologies, that's social proof. 140 other people have this in their bag right now. And then when you proceed to the checkout, it's very simple. Customers want to express checkout through Shopify. We've seen many brands that have made the complicated checkout process very difficult. You'll want to click on a product, add it to the cart. See how this is one additional step more? Then I'll view my cart. And then I'll go to the checkout. And then from here, there'll be an upsell and a downsell and a cross-sell. I'm not saying do not use this, but for the most highest conversion rate scenario, you want to make it frictionless. A complicated checkout process, a lengthy or confusing checkout process is going to lead to cart abandonment. Use apps, pay for it, they're worth it. If you think that your basic Shopify template is not doing it for you, invest into an app that could empower and make your cart page and your checkout page more seamless, more user-friendly, because it's going to lead to conversion rates. Think about all, the worst metric I ever hear from every Shopify seller is my abandoned cart rate is so high. And to not invest $10 or $15 or $20 a month to even A/B test and see if it can work boggles me. So make sure if you do have a very basic checkout process, try and use apps to empower it and make it frictionless and seamless. Chill out with all these upsells, downsells, and before pages. You could do that later. First, create a seamless checkout. Now, that leads to number 9, which is insufficient payment and shipping options. A lot of the time, Shopify sellers have issues with PayPal, or they'll have issues with Stripe, and they only offer one or the other payments. This doesn't work nowadays. In order to have the maximized conversion rates for your store, you need to offer as many shipping payments as possible. You even see in India now, they do cash on delivery. I've even seen brands that are using Bitcoin, they're using Stripe, they're using Google Pay, they're using PayPal. You need to offer as many payments as possible. This is going to, This is going to allow your customers to have more flexibility. And by using express checkouts like ShopPay, you're 100% going to increase your conversion rates. I believe if I quickly search for it, ShopPay, it was an article by Shopify. Here we go. So this is on a Shopify blog, is that if you go through ShopPay, the conversion rate is 1.7. Let's just round it up. It's about 2 times higher than those going through a regular checkout. So make sure if you have that ability to turn on your Shop Pay. It's super important to have those payment methods, and customers are going to be looking for them. The last thing I'd like to bring up is point number 10, is ignoring analytics and user feedback. The one thing that every Shopify seller all deals with equally is the ability to track their customers by using analytic tools and apps. If it's a heat map, something like Hotjar, even if it's from tagging up your entire page and understanding what customers are clicking and what they're not clicking on. If it's A/B testing, if it's multivariate testing, ignoring analytics and user feedback is going to ensure your store performance does not do well. Failing to analyze your store's performance and customer feedback is going to prevent you from identifying core issues on your site. For example, this website, if I had Hotjar on it, I would be very curious to know how many people get to the bottom of this page. Look at it, it's crazy. What is the click-through rate on the home page? Can we A/B test it by maybe using a much shorter hero with better copywriting? You need to always be testing and analyzing your analytics and getting user feedback. I've launched an e-commerce brand before, and before I even launched it, I probably went through 100 of my friends and colleagues, and I had to ask, does this work? Does this look good? How does it? You need to be able to take that feedback and implement it into your store. Now, that leads me to the exciting part, which is Nelk's brand Full Send. For a lot of you that don't know Nelk, they're a YouTube channel, probably one of the biggest YouTube channels out of Canada in the last 5-6 years. And the big thing that they do is an online brand called Full Send. And I think I know some of the numbers. I believe they're 50 to 75 million a year. Now, that was from a video that I saw, but they're obviously super successful. And a lot of the times that I'm talking about these issues, I'll get someone that says to me, who cares? Everyone knows who they are. Who cares if their site has this problem? And well, they are right about them, Nelk having such a big brand presence. They are wrong about one thing, is that customers are still customers, and there are things that you can do, even if your brand is doing $100,000 a minute. There's always something you can do to increase your sales. And with Nelk, I noticed that when you get onto their homepage, their hero is awesome, but when you start looking more into the site, there are small things that they can do that could probably increase their conversion rates. And to keep it very compact and focused, I'm going to just be focusing on the product page. So check out this t-shirt here. Now, the first thing is the before and after. The before and after pricing. This is stock. This is native. This is built into the Shopify. And it could be a gimmick or whatever it is, but that will instantly get a customer to want to purchase more just by seeing how much they're saving. Even if they put the price to 50, it creates that mirage of like, oh my gosh, I get to save $15. And it works everywhere. In your grocery stores, when you're buying a car, you need to have that compare price there. It's one of the most important things on a product page because it's the first thing the customer looks for is what is the price. So by having a compare price, they would 100% have a better conversion rate. The second thing, which I'm very surprised, is not having good enough content. Now, this is a brand that's known for their content. They're absolutely massive, and they are some of the best content marketers in the world, obviously. But for their store, I'm surprised they don't invest into models or even 3D renders or mock-ups. Put the shirt on a model. You don't have to hire someone. There are thousands of different mock-ups that are created professionally where you can model this t-shirt. Reviews. I am almost 1,000% sure they probably have over 50,000 reviews. And I see a lot of brands that do this. They don't have product specific reviews, so they don't show reviews. Whereas I think if you have reviews, who cares even if it's on one product, show it on all. It's very good to have. They should be showing all the reviews, and they hide their reviews because they don't have any reviews specifically to the shirt. But I think they should be showing all of the reviews, aggregated and show it. Especially when you see numbers like 50,000 reviews, 4.5 star, it's 100% going to contribute to better sales and conversion rate. Then, when you visit their homepage, their mobile, it gets a little bit more crazier. Here, they have the sticky add to cart on the footer, which I really like and I really recommend. But again, things are really small, I noticed. Like this details and this classic fit. I understand the aesthetic they're going through. And again, your argument's going to be like, dude, they're a huge brand. Customers don't care. There are customers that care. And even if they were to increase their conversion rate by 0.3%, it would be massive for their sales. And by having that compare price, better visual content, legible copywriting and details, reviews, they would 100% do a better job. So that's the video today. Those are the top 10 reasons why your Shopify store isn't converting. I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. And again, thank you guys. Have a good one.